Hey everyone, welcome to the Guiding You Forward podcast presented by Mountain America Credit Union. Today we're talking about your top Disneyland tips. So be sure, hit that notification bell, subscribe to this channel because you're going to want to hear all of this. Be sure to tune in to the end because we're going to give you everything you need to know about Disneyland. And thankfully, Jen is with us. Hi, Jen.
Hello. This has been a ton of fun.
When it comes to Disney specifically, obviously, when we're in the park, we all want the churros. We all want the Mickey ear ice cream, right? All of those things can add up. What are your thoughts that way? How do we, get the biggest bang for our buck in the park?
Great idea. So some of our hotels have like free breakfasts and other things that can maybe start the day off with some food.
Yeah.
I always pack snacks and I always bring a water bottle that I can refill because those are things that I'm like, Disney water is not more special than anywhere else.
Yeah.
The things that don't matter, don't have to spend money on. But to me, a churro is very important. So I'm going to prioritize my churro, and my kids, that's a big deal to them. But maybe we won't spend a lot on breakfast. Maybe we'll just say, today we're eating churros for breakfast. We'll kind of manage our things. We share a lot of food items and we snack throughout the day. And some of the things that kind of cost the most are the sit down experiences, those kind of meals. And those are fun, but right now they are a little trickier because they can be more full because of reduced capacities. So some families feel so disappointed. And I'm like, well, think about it. You can now try 6 other places to eat and just kind of share and snack throughout the day and you'll spend less. And so it can be a cost savings. But to me, food is a priority, and to a lot of our guests, food is a priority. So I would save a little extra to make sure you can, get those couple special treats that mean a lot to you and share them. We'll have a turkey leg for the family because they're pretty big portion sizes.
Yeah, they're huge.
But save in advance too. We have extra night free specials. We have extra day tickets specials with your tickets. So I'd also look to save in advance and then bank some of that money to get a fun souvenir. Although I always would bring princess dresses in advance for my kids because the same thing. I'm like, we have princess dresses.
Yes.
So if there's something your kids are going to ask for and you already have, if you already have a Mickey plush at home, pack that in the stroller. So you don't even have to spend on things that they're going to want a souvenir, but if you already have souvenirs galore for them, you won't have to spend on that. But I'm always going to pick up a pair of ears. That's a big deal to me. But they're only $26. I mean, relatively cheap for a pretty cool souvenir. So
yeah,
pick your poisons, I guess.
Fair enough. I love that. Talking about Disney itself, you mentioned you can get tickets with an extra day. Tell us some of those things. Okay. What are some of these specials that you guys have going on that could save us money?
Awesome. So that's our favorite thing is to, again, get people on a vacation if we can get any savings to pass along. So the biggest right now is a lot of hotel specials. So hotels finally, over the summer, June 15th, everyone could travel. And so the hotels, they finally got some more staff. And then it's been tricky again. There's been some talk of a Delta variant and people go back to school. And so right now our hotels have never been more affordable. At first they were half open, and so they weren't as cheap perhaps, but now there's tons of extra night free specials and they'll be prioritized on our website. If you ever just do it by price, you'll see which ones have the best specials, or can call and talk in with our team. But most affordable hotels you've ever seen. And we did just offer a 5th day free. And the 5-day ticket is really popular for families that are going for their first time or that are just only go once a year, every other year.
Yeah.
Because 4-night stay is kind of our most popular.
Okay.
So they get that 4th night free and then the 5th day free at the park. And so let's say you fly in that first night, you can go to Disneyland and not feel like, I have to wait till tomorrow because I don't have that day on my ticket. So really great guest experience and a really good savings. But we're always looking for things like that. And again, you're never penalized. So let's say a special comes out and you booked last week, give us a call, no stress. You'll get that special. We don't want anyone to feel wait to book because usually you get the best savings by booking early. But if something comes up, you'll get that too. So
speaking of hotels a little bit, there's so many options, right? So many options when it comes to staying in a hotel for Disneyland specifically. What are some of your thoughts on property, off property? What do you think? What are your recommendations?
So ironically, the Disney hotels, which are on property, have been best sellers for us this year, probably selling 3 times more than we normally would.
Oh, wow.
So I think people not going on a vacation last year are I'm just splurging. I'm staying at the Disney properties.
Get us out of here.
Yes, we're going for it. And they've had some really aggressive specials, which has been great. So you can book any of our vacations through 2022. So a lot of times people will book those early. And there's a lot of great choices. And the fun thing is I get to go and view all of the hotels. I love working with them. A lot of them are small businesses that we've had a big comeback tour to get Anaheim back in business. We've worked with Visit Anaheim, all the hotels. So I have a love for all the hotels. We don't offer any that I wouldn't like personally stay there and haven't stayed there and haven't had guests have great experiences. But if you ever have a question, you can DM us. Our team's all been to the hotels, or you can call us. We would just, love to give any recommendations that they have. And they can join us on our Facebook Lives too. I have them Tuesdays at 10 o'clock Mountain Time and then Thursdays at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. And I'm happy, again, like I've been to all the hotels and a lot of times people will ask specific questions and we're happy to do that. And then sometimes it comes down to price, whichever hotel's doing that special offer right then or has maybe a couple extra freebies. And then another thing when comparing our hotels against others is we negotiate a lot of extras like free parking, no resort fees, a free breakfast. Whereas a lot of times, like if you're in line, the guests behind you, they're paying all of those fees. So kind of watch for that too when you're comparing us against other people, is we've really done a lot of work to make sure there's no hidden fees too.
I love that. And I remember I was tuning into one of your Facebook Lives, I want to say when you were just first back in Anaheim. Okay. I could not believe some of the hotel rooms. I mean, we've got ones with bunk beds and like everything for a family. It was really cool. Yeah. So not just your traditional 2 queens, that's it. Like if you have, a baby, they're willing in a crib for you. They've got the bunk beds for the other kids. Yes. It was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool.
I'd say Anaheim and Orlando are 2 of the most family-friendly destinations. They have awesome room types. They've thought of everything. And we can, again, navigate because bunk beds, I remember the first time we stayed in Anaheim and had bunk beds, my kids got in the room, they're like, Mom, we love you. This is the best vacation ever. Like just to have bunk beds. And I'm like, pat yourself on the back. But we can help you with all those little, magical touches.
I love that. Very, very cool. If you had to pick any time to go to Disneyland of the year, what would it be?
Great question. So I love Disneyland September because you get Halloween time and it's usually not as busy. And I like those off-season months, but I'm also the parent that's okay to maybe take their kids out of school a little bit. So it depends. If you need to do on school breaks, just book a little earlier and maybe add an extra day to your stay. Because usually anytime you go can be a great experience. Just maybe have a little more time so that you don't feel rushed on anything. But like big vacations, like really anywhere, Hawaii cruises, May and September are 2 of those golden months where you can get a really great special. Okay, awesome. Good to know. A huge plus in booking with Getaway today is that you have a refundable Disney ticket. Yes. That is a big deal, especially the last year, because
absolutely
a lot of people have just had to sit on their ticket. And like, let's say someone needed that money for something else, no problem. We're working with you. So that's a big deal to us to have that flexibility. So yes, that's always, even if you wanted to switch it to Walt Disney World too, we can also change it to other products or to hotel or to Hawaii or to Mexico. We have that flexibility. So that's an awesome thing about our tickets for sure.
I love that. So there's this new thing coming out at Disneyland I hear about called a Magic Key.
Yes.
I don't know anything about it. I have coworkers that are crazy about it. I don't know what it is. Tell us about it, Jen.
Yes. Okay. So annual pass holders, have you heard of that before? Like connected people that have the season passes.
Yes.
They shelved that program during COVID. So Magic Key is debuting. It just debuted. And so people can buy a pass that they're able to make, I think 3 reservations usually is about what you do. There's some blockout dates on some of them, or you can buy different levels. One cool thing that a lot of people do and how they kind of like keep Getaway today in the process is they'll buy our 5-day ticket, and that's a super discounted ticket. And so then they'll go, and those 5 days, our tickets never have blockout dates. And so they set 5 reservations and they can do it within a 14-day period. And then the last day of their stay, or even sooner if they aren't going the full 5 days, they can apply that whole value towards the Magic Key. And if you do that within like the first 66 days, you get all the perks of the Magic Key people. So our tickets can be upgraded to that ticket. And we have lots of guests that do that. And they used to do that with the annual pass program too. But I think Disney was smart about this. It was nice that they have put some blockout dates. They've also made it so they can't make so many reservations that it would make it so like the rest of us have a harder time getting into the park. Yeah, very, very cool. Okay, so that's one thing to think about. Magic Key. Okay, yes. Love it. I love it. If you go a couple times a year, it's a very good value. Okay. And I hear there's a new Genie program. What is this? I know, they're just get all these fun names. Yeah. So Genie Plus, we're excited about this. We don't have quite the date of when it's going live, but the idea of it is they're switching from fast passes and they're kind of coming up with a new system, which again, they needed to. Yeah. We didn't realize they needed to do it so bad until they didn't have fast pass. And now we're like, this is the greatest thing ever. Like all the lines move so much faster. So the Genie in general, it will be kind of an addition to the apps. It'll enhance the experience, give people more of a customized game plan for their day. Kind of based on, they'll choose some things that are important to them and they'll help them have like a personalized itinerary. That's a free experience. And then the other one, the Disney Genie Plus, is something that's kind of, had you heard of Max Pass before?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's very similar to Max Pass in that you will be able to set, they're calling them lightning lanes now instead of fast passes.
Okay.
But the only way to get in that lightning lane is to have that Genie Plus and to set a reservation on your phone. So you'll use that technology to be able to kind of save your place in line, which we know with Max Pass, it did save a lot of time.
Yeah.
And it will alleviate some of your waits for the day. And so you can either buy it in advance with us where you would do it each day of your stay, or you can buy it on an a la carte basis through the app the days you want to do it with your family. It also includes your pictures, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's $20 per person per day.
I feel like, and this is from my experience with the Max Pass, it was so nice to not have to run from ride to ride to ride. I don't know, like just made it so much easier.
I'm hopeful on it. I think it'll be a great program.
Yeah.
There's a couple, like some of the like Radiator Springs, they're going to do an extra experience too that you pay even a little extra to be in that lightning lane, and it's not included on the Genie Plus. So we'll have to see how that works. But that also might be worth it if you're like, okay, I just don't want to wait in line for that one. So
yeah,
we're hopeful. We
that's
think
one
it's
of
a
the
good
popular
idea.
ones, right? That Radiator Springs.
Yes.
One thing we obviously want to mention again is if you mention Mountain America when you book with Getaway Today, then there's that donation back to Primary Children's, right?
Yes, donation, and they'll get an extra $10 off their vacation package. So
a
donation and a little donation to you too. Like you get to save a little.
Okay.
And remember, our prices you're already getting the discounted prices. So you'll get the best deal plus a little extra savings and that money that goes back to help kids. And we'll price, again, if you see anything, we can always price match if for some reason something comes up later. And then we'll help you every step of the way.
Love it. Love it. So there's $10 towards churros, ice cream, all of it.
Exactly.
Love it. Okay, Jen, thank you so much for all of your amazing tips today.
This was so fun.
It was so fun. And all of you, don't forget, mention Mountain America, use that promo code MACU. You get the extra $10 off, right?
Absolutely.
But when you're booking with Getaway Today, you're going to save the most anyways.
Always. Yep. You've got a friend when you're booking with us. We've got your back.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to hear all about your Disneyland vacations as well. And be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and we'll bring you even more money-saving tips. We'll see you on the next episode of Guiding You Forward.